How's it going, everybody? Cody with Level Up Games here again with the next commander deck being Fae Dominion. Now this is one that I'm pretty excited about, being a black-blue player most of the time myself. Granted, this one doesn't have anything to do with mill, but however, it is going to be a pretty fun deck. Going off the name alone, Fae Dominion. It's exactly that. It's a faerie typal deck that uses Tegwyll, Duke of Splendor. There's a plenty, and I do mean plenty, of the just usual typal support cards in here, which we'll go over in just a moment, as well as a bunch of dimir control pieces. And certainly this deck will give your opponents a reason to fear the Fae. So just like the Virtue and Valor deck, if you haven't watched that video, I recommend going and checking that one out as well. We have our little cardboard deck box that they give us and a life counter. We also have our collector sample pack here. So we could just kind of pop this open and take a look real quick. For some reason, packs with 2 cards in it are hard to open packs with 15. Let's see what we get here. A Court of Ardenvale and an Intangible Virtue. So funny enough, I would recommend going and watching the other one, but it seems that our collector sample packs were actually kind of swapped, because I won't tell you exactly what was in the other box, but you'll have to go see for yourself. But in that one we had blue and black cards, and this one we've got white cards, which could go in the other deck. Alright, so that said, we'll go ahead and just start getting into the deck itself. Looking at Tegwyll. He has Flying and Death Touch, and then other fairies you control get +1/+1. Whenever another fairy you control dies, draw a card and lose a life. So it's automatically a Fairy Lord, which is great. And then it also gives you draw power in the best way that blue and black can, watching your creatures die to give you more cards and sap you for life. The other commander that it's going to have in here that you can run is Alela, Cunning Conqueror. So the last Alela we saw was actually Esper and cared about artifacts and enchantments. This one specifically says whenever you cast the first spell during each opponent's turn, you make a 1/1 black fairy rogue creature when flying, and whenever they deal damage, one or more fairies deal damage to a player, go target creature that player controls. So instead of caring about artifacts and enchantments this time around, she cares more specifically about casting spells on your opponent's turns. So it's going to be more of a dimir control build than Tegwyll is. Tegwyll just wants to see a bunch of fairies, and then just bopping your opponents and making them attack each other. Now there are going to be a few cards in this deck that are new as well, like Archmage of Echoes. Whenever you cast a fairy or wizard, copy it. It is important to note that copies of permanents end up becoming tokens, so the tokens will cease to exist, but it is a fairly... tokens cease to exist if they've moved zones, so it's still a fairly good card. We have a Flash Shapeshifter, which is pretty great. I mean, a 4-drop with Flash to make a copy of something that stays a Fairy Shapeshifter is pretty great. Misleading Signpost, Shadow Puppeteers, Blightwing Bandit, Fairy Bladecrafter, Nettling Nuisance. I do enjoy the art on most of these new fairies as well. Tegwyll Scouring. It looks like a board wipe that can be cast as though it had flash by tapping 3 untapped creatures you control with flying, in addition to paying its other cost. Okay, so if you pay 6 mana and then tap 3 creatures, then you can cast this at instant speed to destroy all creatures and make 3 1/1 fairies. We got a Brazen Borrower reprint, which I'm never going to be upset about. And we can just kind of flip through the rest of this here and see the other big creatures in here, like a Flanalandra Archmage, Hullbreaker Horror, let's see, Reflection of Lajara, Scion, Sower of Temptation. Kindred Dominance is another one of those cards that just got reprinted, but again, it's just a very good card and cannot be upset about. Rankle, couldn't have a blue-black fairy deck without putting Rankle in here. Thrilling Encore. Una used to be the big fairy tribal commander. Sorry, typal commander. They've changed the terminology for it. But she did used to be the big faerie typal commander, and I'm glad to see that we are getting new options. The mana base does look fairly decent. We got a temple in there. I think these are going to be some new cards from the set itself: Mocking Sprite, Picklock Prankster, Spell Stutter, Obiro, which could also be a commander for whenever Faerie enters the battlefield, each opponent loses life. That could be really fun, just as the commander itself. Cloud of Fairies reprint, Consider reprint. There's just a lot of really good cards in here, frankly. This is honestly going to be my favorite, and this will probably be the commander deck I pick up for myself to work on. We got the Faerie Conclave reprint, Path of Ancestry, our basic lands, and then of course our tokens in the back are mainly going to be Faerie Rogues, black and blue-black, and on the back we're going to have our copies and regular fairies and pirates. Alright, so with that quick run through, I hope you guys are enjoying the videos. If you guys have any input you'd like to share, make sure you leave a comment down in the section below to let us know whatever feedback you might have for us. Other than that, let us know which of these two commander decks that you are more excited for when the set releases. Pre-release being this weekend, full release next weekend. Pre-orders are available, and pickup starts on Friday the 1st. Make sure you guys are liking the video and subscribe to the channel, and stay tuned to find out how you can win this exact deck for yourself. We will be giving this one away, so make sure you're following us on socials, and we'll post up details fairly soon on how you guys can actually win this. Thanks for watching, guys.